Okay, so I thought I would do the first pump update or the first pump video in the process of me getting a pump. So I've written down as much as I can remember, and kind of from the first couple of emails and things like that, I've gone back and done a little bit more writing down and organizing. So the first step to getting your pump is you need to do a whole whack load of things. So you need A1C, you need to be part of a pump, a diabetes clinic, or see an endocrinologist, I think their title is, at least 3 times. You're supposed to see one of them every 3 months to get your pump. I've been seeing one since right before COVID, actually, so right before March. But they're working really hard to get this process going because I am 19 and this is kind of the life move I'm making. So you need that. You need to go to pump info sessions if you're what pump you want. We've done a couple things. I've done a lot of research. I've done a lot of talking to people that have pumps and things like that versus Omnipods versus like the whole thing, and seeing which ones they have, why they have them, why they like them, those sorts of things. I've done a lot of that. I've done a lot of YouTube video watching just to see different things. And so I've picked my pump, which is the Medtronic Mini 670G. That's the one I want to get for a couple of reasons. One, it's pretty water resistant, which is fantastic because I'm a swim instructor, lifeguard. I'm in the water all the time. Like, it is a constant thing. I'm in, I'm out, I'm in a wet climate. Like, that's just it. For that, it qualifies underneath of the closed loop system. So what that basically means is it has a CGM, or continuous glucose monitor, and the pump that work simultaneously. So the CGM takes your blood sugar and then sends it to your pump, and if you're going up, it'll give you a bit of insulin. If you're going down, it'll suspend your insulin. So that's really good to know for that. So currently, where am I in this whole process? Because I have a pump I want. I've done some research. We did go to a pump info night on the Medtronic G77G and the Medtronic 670G. And that was really great. I was able to ask my questions. I was able to get my answers. For most of them, I was able to get contact information. I've sent a couple of emails with a couple of questions, like what is their water resistance, what's their warranty, like things like that, and stuff like that, because I am a swim instructor, for sure. So where am I? I need to set my carb count and correction numbers in stone. So currently, I wrote them down. My ratios are 1.8 for correction. So if I'm at 20 and I want to be at 5, it'd be 15 divided by 1.8, and whatever that number is, normally has a bunch of little decimals, I just round up. Whatever that number is the thing. Some insulins you can be on, or some pens have half units. The pen I have does not have half units, so it's whole numbers, so I just round up or down depending on where I am. And then my insulin to carb ratio is 1 to 7. So 7 grams of carbs for 1 unit of rapid. And that seems to be working really well. Depends on what I'm doing. Some days it needs to be a little bit lower, some days it needs to be a little bit higher, just depending on what's going on. So once that is done, and I've tracked for 10 days, they want me to track for 10 days, which is a lot. 10 days of tracking everything you eat, all the carbs, everything can be a lot for anyone. I have a severe learning disability that involves numbers and reading and writing. My handwriting is awful. My reading skills are not great. It's extremely tiring for me to do. I did one back a couple years ago, and they didn't give me any instructions. They just said, here, you have to do this. And so I did it to the best of my ability. I think I did 4 days of it, because that's how many sheets I had. I did 4 days of it. And they took it down, and I was like, here, and they're like, this is not enough. And I was like, but why? And they're like, we need more. I said, okay. I said, this is what you're going to get, and this is what you have to work with for me. and from me, and they're like, well, we need more. So yeah, so I see, if you're a healthcare provider that has stumbled across this video and is watching this video, that does pumps and things like that, take into consideration that not everyone is perfect, and kids often have learning disabilities, and this can be very overwhelming for anyone. So there's that. Once we have that done, and it's tracked, and it's done, and everything is set in stone, I'm hoping I only have to do 10 days, but I might have to do more, but I'm hoping for 10. The person who's helping me with this, the doctor, is going to start the ADP, ADP process, which is an insurance thing. It's accessible device program that's run through the Ontario government, through the Canadian government, that will help manage the costs of pumps and all of that things. I looked up, the pump that I want is over $8,000 for the pump, and then there's the supplies that you have to have as well. So that it's a very expensive thing. Having diabetes is very expensive. I am really lucky. My dad's insurance is fantastic, and I'm on it until I get a stable insurance and a good insurance. I'm on my dad's insurance because I have an underlying health condition, and I think it does about 90% of the cost of things. Don't quote me on that, but I think it's about 90% of it. So I'm really lucky. I sent an email off to my dad's insurance company to see what they'll cover for pump supplies, so I know. My mom also has insurance, so I'm asking her to send an email to see what they've got, and fill out the paperwork to see what they'll cover for me, which is fantastic. So that's kind of where I'm at. Once we get the ADP insurance filled out and it comes back and I get the insurance process and I get all the money and stuff, then we set up a pump start date. And then I go in for a day of training, do all the training, get my pump, I start my pump, and we go from there. The nice thing, I don't know how it's going to work. I'm going to have to get the CGM stuff, so I have to switch CGM things at some point. Right now I am on, which one am I on? I'm on the Libre sensor CGM, so I'd have to switch from that to the Medtronic one so that they sync together, but that's a whole other process, and I will do that shortly. I'm just looking to see if there's anything else I want to talk about. Not really. If you have questions, let me know and I can ask them, or get answers, or find answers. And I'm really hoping that this is kind of educational, and I will do another update once I have more information, and I can kind of go from there. Please feel free to ask questions. I don't mind answering them at all. I hope you guys enjoyed, and thanks for watching.